#RealRaceTalk. It's the Revved Up Sports Show talking local, regional, and national action. Here's Bobby Chaffee and Rodney Rodriguez.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Happy Eclipse. The Eclipse is done, Bobby. The Eclipse. I got to tell you, I was laughing and, talking shit or whatever. But, man, I lucked out because Chloe had an extra pair of those sun goggles. And so I actually got to see it. I wasn't even going to make a big deal about it, but it was actually pretty cool.
I didn't get to see it at all. It sucked. Just because it was cloudy and nasty where I was at down south, and so I didn't get to see it at all, which was not a lot of fun. But I got to see about 10 seconds of it, maybe. I saw some glares off the windshield of the neighbor's truck next door across the street. I was like, well, hell, if there's a glare there might be just a tick of a damn glance up at. So I got to see literally about 10 seconds of the eclipse, and that was about it.
Yeah, the weather didn't quite do what I think folks were hoping that it was going to do, and I saw that they were having some festival over in Burnett that they had to cancel. They canceled it due to weather, and man, I've had a little bit of had a little thunder and everything over here, but now what was supposed to be here today is apparently coming tomorrow. So I guess we're going to get a little bit of all of the elements, but something really cool. If indeed we don't see another one for however long it's supposed to be. Glad I got to see that. It was actually cool. Of course, now I can't breathe. I went out and sat in the pollen, and now it's all jacked up. But whatever. It's worth it, I guess, as they say.
No, I don't know. The next one's in Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, August of 2044.
Damn, 2044. That's
for a total eclipse. Now there'll be partial eclipse every now and then, but the totality of the eclipse, like we saw today with the complete coverage of the moon or complete coverage of the sun, that won't be seen in the States again until 2044.
Yeah, it was neat to see. It was neat to see that happen. I mean, it really was kind of neat to kind of track it and watch it fly over there, or not fly over, but kind of make its way over there. Richard Lofton says, "Nice to see the wing modified is back." Yeah, I mean, it's right there with the eclipse. It's back. It's absolutely back, my man. Yeah, good stuff. Wing modified. Where's the wing modified at?
Mm-hmm.
Enlighten us a little bit right there, my man. He may be up north or somewhere. We may have missed something, but big weekend that we just saw and a big show coming up. The Hitman, Shawn Graham. It was after we were kind of laughing at him the other day, raising hell about him. Had a lot of people reach out and say, get him on. So he's coming on at 6:45. So we'll see him here shortly. Then Jacob Hortsch is going to give us an update on STIMS, because STIMS, another big weekend there. 3 big races, and they'll be doing it again at the Cotton Bowl coming up. And then Mason Warren, the brightest star of tomorrow to this point, will join us as well. So good stuff coming up. Arklatex. Okay, thank you. It said Arklatex. Okay, perfect. So a big weekend. I mean, we are full throttle. We are full throttle rolling around right now. Looked like a good night at 37. We had a great night at the race ranch, and just goes on and on. 99 Nationals, man. Did you catch any of that? Now, that was some good shit right there. Those 99 Nationals are really good.
I got to watch some of the highlights. I was too busy watching Wrestlemania to actually catch up with local racing this weekend. So I'm a bad show host because I didn't get to watch as much of the local stuff on Race On as I normally do, because I was perplexed on the TV watching Cody Rhodes try to finish his story.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday. We covered that, towards the end of the week and such on Texas Sports Unfiltered, and we're talking about that. And I watched damn near the whole thing last night. So it's different. So what is the whole story? I mean, I heard him talking a little bit at the end. So what, he got thrown out of there, he got fired or left or whatever the case was, and he's made his way back. And so is that kind of what the storyline was with this? And I know Dusty passed away.
That's part of it. Apparently the line is that Dusty never won the WWF championship or WWE, whatever.
He's only there for like a month.
Yeah, he was only there for a while.
Yeah.
And so then Cody Rhodes decided to leave, reinvent himself on the indies, and then him and a couple of his indie buddies created AEW.
Okay.
Started AEW from scratch with Tony Khan, who is the son of the guy that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
So they got money to do whatever the hell they want to do over in AEW. Are they the same equivalent as WWE? No, absolutely not. You can tell from WrestleMania weekend that they just don't have the scale that the WWE has. But after reinventing himself, starting another company, he's coming back, and then to finish his story, more the Rhodes family story, because he lost last year in the main event, and then went this year's main event. Had a little extra help with a no DQ match with the Undertaker, and people are all pissed off. Man, they all wanted to see Stone Cold. They didn't want to see the Undertaker.
That's what I kept waiting for last night. You know, when it's like all the retreads are coming out, and I'm like, okay, we should hear that glass breaking here pretty quick. But yeah, I was really surprised that he didn't come out. I mean, because when Cena came out, and I was laughing last night. Cena's got a bald spot about as big as mine right now. Cena, and then here, I got to tell you, and I know that a lot of this is a lot of. I guess we would say revamping, kind of, with all the mess that's been going on with the McMahons. I know when old hot stuff came out at the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. But I know that they're trying to kind of put that behind them, and I like the way that they did this, because I think bringing those guys back, and the Undertaker, I think that kind of does, and The Rock. I mean, if you're going to have The Rock around, I mean, that's a guy where that's good for business. I mean, the dude is huge. So I think that I totally get what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it worked. And we're going to lose some watchers tonight because the first hour of Monday Night Raw is commercial free.
Oh.
And the Raw after WrestleMania is one of the best Raws of the year. They get the most raucous crowd. You get surprise returns. You get surprise debuts throughout the entire night. So there's going to be a few surprises for sure. I've got it on DVR so that I can watch it as soon as we're done.
I'll flip it on here in a little bit. I can give them a little bit of time. I got to watch basketball here in a little bit, so we'll go ahead and see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean that Lincoln Financial Field was packed. I mean, hot damn. I don't have a lot of good things to say about Philadelphia sports fans, but shit, that place last night.
That wasn't local people. That was people from all over the world coming to Philly.
That's true. It was juiced, man. There were a lot of people in there, and it was good. It good to see Bailey. I think Bailey's from around here, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's from Austin, or had some ties in Austin. So good to see that. All in all, good show. Just I don't think I'm going to be all bought in and start watching it every week again. I think if it had been something a little different. I mean, the Cody Rhodes angle, I like that. I mean, our man Stu is buddies with him, so I kind of got a little backstory on some of that stuff, the way that all panned out. But I don't think I'm ready to buy back in. But it was nice to see something different. I mean,
wait till they go to Netflix. Netflix is unrated.
Oh,
so it could be a slightly edgier product there on Netflix. And who was right in the middle of the Attitude Era, D-Generation X, led by none other than Triple H. So. Hey, it could go back to like it was back during the Monday Night Wars with a little bit of Attitude Era. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm interested in it. Just see. I mean, I've been watching it since I was a kid. So everything from WCCW to WCW to WWE, I've watched all of it. So
yeah, I did too. I mean, I watched it for a lot of years, and it's I mean, honestly, now I just don't. If I forget. I mean, I totally forget. I mean, I think it's one of those things to where, yeah, for the more modern stuff, I mean, because when I start talking about it, I go way back. But that Monday night thing, when you had the Monday night deal going back and forth, to me, that was really badass. I think that was kind of at its peak right there, where you had, I mean, that was just all out. That was just all out war right there, literally between the two promotions. And it was really cool at the time to see that the way that the WWF, I guess at the time, kind of evolved itself, because it was soft. I mean, that shit was, it was like, okay, whatever. I mean, the theatrics and all that were even more obvious back then, before they even talked about it, where
the characters were horrible too.
Exactly. With the clown and the honky tonk man and all that dumb shit. But WCW was just all out, beat the living shit out of each other. And that was, I think it kind of stepped up the game there for WWE. And, well, you know how it all ends right there. Money prevails at the end of when it's all said and done.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Now that they got the TKO, publicly traded company, with UFC, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do coming forward, especially with this new multi-billion-dollar contract TV deal they got with Netflix. That's going to be surprising to see what they do there.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, here's your Revved Up merchandise right there. Get a lot of questions on that, the online store right there, scan that QR code, it'll take you right to it. You get all of that good stuff right there. Really simple, takes you very simple process to get your hands on that. So feel free to do that as you want. But I didn't see WrestleMania on Saturday. I heard that night it was cold. I heard
in the 40s, yeah.
Damn. And when I was watching last night, I mean, it looked a little chilly last night too. And they're out there running around, no shirts, and the girls all scantily clad. I was like, damn, that looked chilly. That looked chilly over there doing that shit.
Yeah, wind chill of 45, I think, last night. It was actually a wind chill of 42 on Saturday, so
yeah,
a little warmer on Sunday. So that's what the chance you take with them outdoor venues. I mean, there's plenty of badass indoor, multi-use stadiums. They've been to Jerry World a couple of times. I think next year they're going to. I'm surprised they didn't announce it yet. They may announce it tonight on Raw. The leading place to get WrestleMania 41 is the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Vikings play.
Oh, damn. I was hoping you were going to say Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex in North Austin. Like, man, that's right down the road. I'll go there. I think it's coming. I think it's supposed to be coming back here. I think
it's coming to the Moody Center.
I'd have to go. I'd have to go check it out.
It's on Monday night, so we'd have to skip a show to go. But maybe our buddy Stu could hook us up with some media passes.
I don't need no doubt. I don't want no media pass. I want to go sit in the stands and drink beer and get over there and raise hell. I want to be a man of the people. It's events like that where you need to be a man of the people. Like talking about Fort Worth this weekend, and I can't go, by the way. I'm going to be in South Carolina. But it's like I'd really thought about, especially now that they got all those belly up bars and all that. It's like, man, I'm going to go sit out there in the stands and have some of that $12 beverages, but I don't think we'll do that. Or I can't. You can. Oh no, actually you can't. You're busy Friday. You got the Texana. You got late models coming up, my man.
I know it's gonna be fun. I didn't find out about the late models till today, so
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I think it was yesterday or today. So man, that's gonna be good. Michael Lindsay, yeah, Saturday. Yeah, man, what was going on there, dude? That was not a good night for my man Michael Lindsay. It kind of appeared to have some problems there at the beginning of both of those races. So I don't know. Oh, look here. Janet says she'll go.
Well, how about that?
She'll go to the WWE. Janet, will you pick me up and drive me? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding about it.
It's a hot minute away. Like, it's not till August. So.
Oh shit! I thought it was close.
No, we got to. It's just they just went to San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, but we got a while.
Colin, you talking about the luchas, or what are you talking about? Or maybe just resting here from a big weekend. It was definitely a long weekend, man. There was just so much going on. It's like every time you turn around, I mean, you look at it like at the end of the show, and of course we'll do it today, where at the very end it's like, okay, here's what's coming up, and we kind of list all those things off, and I mean that's just there. So can you imagine? All the tracks. I mean, because despite what people think, not all the tracks are on Race On. I mean, they ought to be, or they ought to be on something. So shit, that's a lot of tracks.
Oh boy, I'm not sure you want to go to the WWE Raw.
We got her. There's our driver.
Oh, good.
The Dirt Track Queen will be our driver. You can even take my car. You can drive my car. It's totally fine. Totally fine. Why? Price is outrageous. If it's at the mood, I can only imagine.
$124 a piece.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? God damn. That drives me crazy. It's like every time that I look at, when I get a wild urge and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find me a baseball game. I'm going to go to a baseball game middle of the week, Wednesday. And I look and I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, it's crazy. And then if you can happen to find a seat cheap and you get there, it's like, you got to give a bone marrow sample for a hot dog, and then they draw blood for a beer. And then it's like, my God, then they want to pull a tooth,
Well, that's getting 4 together. Like I just went and grabbed 4, right? That's in the nosebleed section too, section 211 and 214.
Nice. Well,
124 plus fees.
Oh, Mario Kart in real life. Maybe I'll just Uber there. No, because I think for that one they'd probably want a finger for an Uber ride over there. Yeah, Tim, you got big stuff happening at CBS. By the way, Tim, a lot of people messaged me and they were like, "Boy, Tim did a hell of a job there talking." Tim, you might have life after racing. You could become a talk show host or an announcer or something like that. Good talker. You're a good talker.
Oh, hey, speaking of announcing, I double checked on some stuff schedule wise, and that San Antonio race reunion is on a weekend where there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing. There are no racetracks running that weekend. There is no Texas football game. There is no UTSA football game. There's nothing going on October 5th other than that San Antonio Speedway reunion.
Well, I had it blocked. No matter what was going on. I've got it in my handwritten calendar over here in pen about that one. So I'm definitely doing that because I missed the last one and it kind of sucks. So barring anything like illness or something, I plan to be a part of that. I think that's going to be great. Hey there, Brandy. Hopefully everything is going better for you guys. I know it's been a little bit of a rough weekend there. So hopefully all the good thoughts and everything headed y'all's way. Hopefully, as we talk about, always lift into the higher power there, that everything is good there. USMTS Boot Hill this weekend. So, yeah, again, at the end of the show, we'll kind of go through all of our what's going on this week. And that's definitely one of them, man, because it's locked and loaded. A lot of good things going on.
Yeah, lots of good stuff happening this weekend, both Friday and Saturday night. So Race On covers a good portion of it, but they're not covering all of it. But there'll be a good portion of it coming up here this upcoming week. So
that's right. Hey, hold on. Excuse me 1 second here. Sorry, couldn't find my phone.
Oh man, done lost your mind. Can't find your phone.
I know. It's like there's this whole thing. I swear that I didn't know that the watch could like do that, and like the kids taught me that, and now it's like all the time. That should just be something that it just should go off in my head all the time.
It'll find your phone and it'll take pictures.
Takes pictures.
At least the Samsung one does.
Oh no!
And that's how I did all the videos for H&P. I press play and start and pause on my watch.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't quite gotten that deep yet. Milton, come on, dude.
Ease up. 67 with a clean bill of health or 61?
Yeah, man, I was reading. I saw where he posted that, and it's like, man, look at him. It's like, man, when I have to go to the physical, I'm like, oh my God. I know I ain't coming out of there, harm free or whatever you want to call it. I know there's going to be something. So anyway, so far so good. Well, actually not good, but anyway. But way to go, Milton. Hey, Milton, back at the helm there at the 37. How about that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a homecoming, so to speak, that week with some good racing action at I-37. They had some good racing there.
Yeah, it looks like, and I'll check the messages here. Shawn Graham acknowledged everything a little bit earlier, but again, that's why we go live. It's like, I mean, and I'll say it all the time, where people are like, "Why don't you guys just tape stuff?" No,
it's no fun if it's recorded.
If something, I know, like on the Thursday show, it's gotten to where a lot of the Thursday show stuff. I mean, part of it's live and part of it's not, and it's like the part that's not. It's like I just. It's playing and I'm sitting here and it's like, and then I'm just having to listen to myself. And it's like, my God, this sucks. It's like, now I know how the watchers feel. I mean, this is horrible to listen to. This is funner. And especially like right now when we're filling, I mean, this is great. I mean, the good thing about this is that there's always so much to talk about in this sport. There's always, people complaining, and there's always things that we can go back to and make topics, and that's why we always put on there for you guys to bring your topics, just in case that you have something that we can talk about, because we will definitely bring it up if you bring it up.
Yeah, we need more info on this stuff from Colin right here. That's a big news on both fronts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. I had missed that. Again, I was kind of out of touch over the weekend. It was a busy day at the race ranch, and then by the time I got back yesterday, had some other stuff to tend to. So I had the other stuff to tend to, like watching WrestleMania, and so I really didn't get caught up on stuff today. So yeah, you guys, Colin, let us know what's going on there, and you guys, seriously, in these situations like that, I mean, if there's anything that we can do to help, there's not a lot we can do to help, but if benefits come up or whatever the case, let us know, because we are happy to promote that. I mean, we're here to have fun and do all this crazy other shit, but when it comes down to it, we say hashtag real race talk, but it's hashtag real life is what we're all about right here. So let us know how we can help in situations like that.
Milton, jelly roll thoughts, please.
God damn, Milton. Look, and I got a lot of PMs after I posted that. Well, you don't understand his story. I've heard the story, and it's great. I am all about overcoming everything. But and it sounds like he's been through a lot. And that's great. That's great. Like we were just talking about, hashtag real race talk and real life. But dude, that's just not my cup of tea. I go back to I remember when Garth Brooks floated into country music in 1990, 91, whatever that was. It's like, you want to talk about a disruptor? Look at this guy.
Music played too fast. I remember that when he came in there. Music played way too fast.
You remember that? And it's like, that's not country music. Well, it wasn't compared to Haggard, and it wasn't compared to some of those guys. However, I mean, go listen to If Tomorrow Never Comes and Call 'Em Baton Rouge and all of those songs. That's country music. I mean, another one, Shania Twain, when she came in with her ass hanging out and all these different things and shaking her bonbons and all that. That's horrible. That's pop music. I'm sorry. The shit that we're seeing now is, and here, full disclosure, I don't even know what Jelly Roll sings. That's just not what I think of when I see country music or when I think of country music. And I guarantee you one thing: Beyonce ain't no country music singer. Has nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that she's a pop star. Bobby, I love Def Leppard. When they crossed over and were on the CMT or A or whatever those awards were, I'm like, what in the hell is that?
Yeah, Hardy's the same way. I don't call him a country star either, because the way that Jelly Roll crosses over, he's got a couple of decent songs that get played both on country music radio and on the hardcore radio, the Octane, the heavy metal station on Sirius XM. He plays on both that and the new country stations. So different crossover, so to speak, from that. It's just not. That's why we call it contemporary music awards, not country music awards no more.
Yeah, and I when I go on trips like I just did this past weekend, where you're driving a lot, you can flip on satellite radio and you hear those old countdowns, and I listen to the 80s countdown all the time. I mean, that's a good 3 hour. I mean, if I'm going to Corpus, boom, 3.5 hours, boom, I get there's number one. If you time it right by the time it starts. But it's like you listen to some of the shit that used to cross over, like when Millsap stuff used to cross over. It's like, all right, I don't know why that's crossing over, because that ain't pop music. That is not pop music at all. He Got You. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. All that, man, that ain't nothing close to Debbie Gibson or Al B. Sure or any of that stuff. It's not even close. So I hear that and I'm like, oh, whatever. A couple of weeks ago I was driving and I'm listening, like Deborah Allen's Baby I Lied was number 25 on the pop charts where it peaked. And I'm like, how did that cross over? That's a great country song. I didn't fucking nowhere near pop.
Yeah, no, it's weird. The old country crossover was even stranger than the crossovers are now, as everybody. Post Malone showed up and was singing John Deere Green.
Yeah. Old Joe Diffie's rolling over. No, Joe Diffie probably enjoys it. Joe Diffie's a good dude. Was a good dude. But it's like, so who charted Tracy Chapman's Fast Car? Who sang that? One of them dinglings sang Fast Car. You remember he's got a fast car.
I got no idea. I didn't watch it.
No. This was a couple of years ago. Years ago. But when it comes, I don't know, dude. My music choices are not. I mean, I find my music on YouTube most of the time. The only time that I use Spotify and all that's like when I'm at a track. And look at this guy. These young guys, Colin. I've never heard of these people. Come on, dude. Kenny Rogers was one. You remember Kenny? Kenny would cross over all the time, and that shit was hardly the Gambler. That wasn't pop.
Who was the tight fitting jeans that crossed over too?
Conway, yeah, it was Conway.
Tight fitting jeans.
Yeah, and then Dolly stuff. Now that one there. Now Dolly was one because like her and Kenny with Islands in the Stream. That son of a gun crossed over, and that again. That I think that was just more mainstream. But like 9 to 5, remember 9 to 5? That song crossed over, and that one to me was very country. But I totally got the appeal because it was off a soundtrack. And I think that that's where the soundtracks kind of dictated different things back there. But back to Milton's post here, it's like, and I mean, it just, I don't know. And it's just old man syndrome. He doesn't look like Waylon, doesn't sound like Willie, doesn't hum like George. Sure as hell don't look like Charlie Pride. I posted that last night and somebody said, well, what do you mean by Charlie Pride? I'm like, well, he doesn't look like Charlie Pride. He's not an elderly black man singing country music. I mean, so, Milton,
get off my lawn.
I know. Well, yeah, you're right, Milton. I gotta have a drink. Oh, I'm better.
This is what happens when the Hitman doesn't show up.
Yeah, where's the Hitman? Hell, I never reached out to him. You guys got me all fired up. What time is it? Let me. Well, we may not be able to get to it. We'll deal with the Hitman here in a little bit. Caden Petty's favorite country artist is Johnny Cash. I mean, Johnny Cash, great. You want me to go into another rabbit hole about? So here's my thought. Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard as great country artists. Those guys can sing. I mean, you listen to them sing, and they sing extremely well. Caden, I love Johnny Cash, but Johnny Cash, Christopherson, some of these guys, just kind of talking. You know what I mean? It's like, anyway, Marty's like, I'll do it. Marty's like, I'll break the seal. I'm excited about the late models that heading on Friday night too, and I'm sure Bobby is because he'll get to call that.
I'll be excited if there's more than 5.
Oh, there will be. I'm sure there will be. Excuse me. I had a lot of people that I was talking to at Corpus over the weekend that were talking about how great those places looked, or how great Texana looked. And again, congratulations there to everyone that has put that together, because rave reviews on getting all of that put together. That's really cool stuff.
Yeah, we'll have a good time on Friday night.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. At least double digits. If you get 10, 11, 12. I mean, you never know. I mean, you just never know. It's
granted, 5 cars can put on a hell of a race, but I'd like to see double digits for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is you have to kind of look around and see what else is going on. I mean, because I know you get a lot of these other late model shows that are going to draw people from other places and so forth, and that's a big thing. I mean, that was one of the things. I mean, Jacob's going to come on in just a little bit, and I think that's one of the things where what STIMS has done is they've done a really good job to where it's not a matter of this track is trying to race on Friday and this track's trying to race on Friday, and then on Saturday they're kind of doing the same thing, and you've got minuscule car counts. I mean, what you're doing is you've kind of gotten those tracks to kind of bond themselves together under the STIMS banner, and what it's done is it's afforded them extremely great car counts at every one of their fucking races, and that's, I mean, that's how you do that. I mean, you got to get the input from the tracks. You got to get the tracks on board, and it seems like they've done that really well.
No, I mean, I think the series has worked the magic that it intended to work, with having big fields and big car counts and stuff like that. So they put on a hell of a race at Texana from 1st to 15th. But there's only so much, as a fellow announcer, there's only so much you could talk about at one time. And generally, you talk about the stuff closest to the front, the closest people to the checkered flag, unfortunately.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let's dive in and let's talk about STIMS. Let's bring him on once again, becoming a frequent contributor here to us with the great job that he's doing right there. I tell you, that's a good way to be on this show when you're kicking ass. That's usually how that all works out. Jacob, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good.
You get over to the Eclipse. You all right?
Yeah, we were all right. It just got dark there for a second, but everything came back to normal, so we're good.
Right. Yeah. It got dark for a second. That's a good way to put it. So talk about that. What we were just saying. I saw you there in the waiting room. So it really does seem that that's what you've done. I mean, you've gotten the tracks on board, and man, it's really producing you guys some kick-ass car counts in racing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from the beginning, it was always going to have to be like a team effort with all 4 tracks and IMCA and the drivers, and it was going to have to be one of those things where everyone kind of had to agree on this is what we're going to do. And if one person or one track doesn't want to do it, then it kind of doesn't make sense. So especially in South Texas, so having everyone agree, and they're like, well, try it for 2024 and see how it goes. And everything we've heard so far from everyone has just been awesome. So
Absolutely.
Well, I know from firsthand experience down there, Texana, that was a hell of a car count. A little different, like half of the stuff got registered under IMCA, half the stuff in Race Pass got registered under STIMS, so we didn't know how many guys were going to be there. And then when you guys came out and ran 3 full heat races of like 8 cars, it was like, oh damn, there's a hell of a lot of these cars. And
yeah,
the heat races were good. The main event was good, and I mean, so far I feel like it's actually done everything that you guys set it out to be after seeing one and calling one of the races in person. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we figured out what the issue was on my Race Pass when people were renting the transponders from the track. It put them under IMCA modified, and then we'd come check in with us, it would put them with us as well. So it was like, all right, just disregard the whole IMCA thing, but the track had to have a way to register the transponders. But I think we got it figured out. We had 21 modifieds show up that second night. So first 3 nights were 18, 21, and 21. So we're going to Cotton Bowl next weekend, and hopefully we'll have 24, 26. That's our goal. Force the track to make us run a B, and that's what we can do. That'd be a good goal.
Yeah. That's
they better get some Waco guys that close to Cotton Bowl.
Hopefully, I'm waiting for some of them to show up. I think they're a little nervous. So we'll see. There's when you got guys like Chris Morris, Chris Carroll, Ryan. There's countless guys that race all over the place and modifieds and late models, and we're all traveling together, running door to door for top 8. It seems that you never know who's going to win that night. Jared Maupin, he was running 5th, last night or Saturday night till he broke a right front shock. But normally he's flying right past everyone on a local night. So it's like it's definitely bringing the best of the best and putting on one heck of a show. So.
Yeah, for sure. Jacob, how cool has it been in the sense of what you're talking about right there? I mean, it's one thing, because I've said it a lot of times, where you can have 10 cars and have a great race, and you can have 20 cars and have a sucky race. But what you've had is great car counts and good racing. I mean, that right there's one hell of a good combination to get this thing firing out of the box.
Yeah. I mean, last weekend at Texana, we had only 2 yellows. And it was both of them single spins, and we went green, white, checkered, and 3 wide, 4 wide at some points, and we were definitely flying, having fun. This past weekend, we definitely had some more yellows, but the track was kind of goofy, so it kind of threw guys for a little whirl. So
goofy. That's the most interesting way I've heard to describe that track this weekend.
Well,
there's been a lot of feedback. Most time you guys, when there's bumps, be like, well, there's character over there, or this is a unique turn. But goofy, that's a new one, dude.
Oh yeah, it was definitely hammered down until about 10 laps in, and then it got real slick on the bottom, and then it was like, all right, just drive the crap out of it into the corner and slide up, and hopefully it sticks. And some of the guys were driving a little too hard, and it wasn't sticking. So it was definitely patchy in places, but we, can't complain. It was definitely a fast, hard, quick race. So
Jacob, I think it's really cool. And now, I mean, with this weekend coming up with CBS, because CBS is its own animal. I mean, it's like no other that you go to. Man, I think the variation of having the 3 tracks to start the year, talk about that part, because like you were saying, it's going to be a challenge. And I think you get new invaders that are going to be a part of it this weekend.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I'm waiting for some of those guys that said they were going to come run with us, and they haven't brought their. We'll see where it goes, but I think at Cotton Bowl it's kind of the middle ground for everyone. It gives people a chance to kind of travel and not have to go 3-4 hours. So I think with Marianne and what they're doing over there, it's going to be a good track to race on. It's going to bring a lot of good cars.
Absolutely.
In terms of points wise, what are you guys looking like points wise? Who's leading the points and all that good stuff? And what was the best place to go to check all that out? My Race Pass, or you all doing something else?
Ooh, you got him with that one. You threw him off. He had to go check right quick.
Yeah, right.
He'll be right back on. I saw him kind of blip right there. Again, there's weather everywhere. I know it's not us. We're up and rolling. So again, working on a connection right there. We'll get him right back on. But I think the Cotton Bowl race, to me, there we go. We got him back. The Cotton Bowl race is going to be pretty sweet. All right,
it's going to be a hell of a show.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Oh, you're good, man.
My phone, I guess, just disconnected from the Wi-Fi. But
it is
at Cotton Bowl, I think there's going to be several guys that are going to come from other tracks, and the guys that were like, yeah, and we're going to come race. You know, I think DeWitt, he was one of them that he raced his first night in a modified with us 2 weeks ago, and he had fun, and I think he'll be at Cotton Bowl, and there's a couple others that are waiting on their wraps, and Derek Scott came back out of the woods. Made his return to dirt track. I don't know if you want to call it that, but he had to go get himself some tires. That's why he wasn't showing up last week. I was like, come on, man. You can do better.
Yeah, right.
But I'm expecting 24, hopefully 26. I mean, the more the merrier. Talked to Marianne on the phone today, and I was like, how many does it take for us to run a beat? She's like, I don't know. We've had 26 on the track. And I was like, all right, well, we may have to get 28 or 30, but we'll see. I don't know. I may just be too excited for it, but it's definitely capable of doing it. So we'll see how it goes.
I think so too, because like Bobby was talking about, it kind of opens up a whole different variation, kind of a different market right there of guys that could show up. So how's it been for you? I mean, I know you're competing, and when we've talked in the past, I mean, you've got folks doing whatever, but you've organized this, so you kind of get all the fallout and everything. How's it been for you? 2 races in, you ready to say screw it and be done with this?
No, I think they appreciate it to a certain extent, because part of it's they like, hey, let's not do this. I'm like, I agree. And, you know, you're not having to go to a promoter and the promoter's having to go and, you know, make a decision with their team. It's just kind of like, all right, let's do what we want to do. And for the most part, I know where everyone tries to cheat and where everyone, you know, tries to make a little wiggle here and there. And, you know, overall, it's just good fun racing. No one's had any issues so far. I'm sure eventually down the line we'll butt heads, and it'll just be like, hey, you know, it is what it is. But I'm not making any of the calls on the track, and you know, it comes down to it is, you know, I'm behind the scenes, everything up until we pull out on the track, and then it all goes out the window. I have nothing to do with it on the track. So
there you go. It's awesome.
Don't worry. From my experience running a racing series and having a buddy that competes in it, they will eventually come find you and chew your ass right before you get out. It's just a matter of time. Not to wish you any ill will, but make sure you got another guy to have their ass getting chewed. That's why they used to throw me in there, so that when somebody didn't like the call, they could come yell at me instead of him, so he could debrief and get out of his race car and make his notes first. So, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, I think you guys really hit on the right setup. I know that, you know, there was talk about it, and then we saw the Facebook page, and it just seems like the implementation has turned into what, I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody bought into it. The drivers have bought into it. I think the fans have really bought into it because they're happy to see, you know, 18 and 19 big mods, you know, or even more than that. And so I think that everything, for lack of a better way to think about it, look at it, I think everything's worked out almost as good as it could, minus even just a couple extra cars.
Yeah, knock on wood, everything's going really well so far. We picked up On Demand Racing shirts, so it's like they're sponsoring our points fund, and they're making us shirts and hats and bags and all sorts of tank tops and hoodies and all that. So it's being able to sell at the track and put a little extra money together in a points fund. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll have $3,000-$4,000, and we don't know. We'll see, but I'm hoping that we can have a nice little payday at the end of the year for the guys, and just be like, here, thanks for coming, thanks for traveling, and I think it'll be a good turnout.
Yeah, and you can find that that online store a lot like ours. On-demand shirts just kind of trickle down there, or actually go to the STIMS site. You can find a post there, takes you right to it. It's real easy to get that merchandise in your hand and at your door. I did want to ask you, speaking of that, sponsors, contingencies, all that, Jacob. It was really cool. I saw the week leading up there to 37. Seems like you had some extra folks come on board, and again, $100 here, a couple $100 there, adding to what you guys are doing. I mean, I think that's awesome that you've got that kind of momentum already going on this early.
Yeah. We had three separate people that all came to me, and they were like, "Hey, I want to put an extra $100 down on whatever place you want." And I was just seeing little kids running around with STIMS hats, and I was like, "Hey, pick a number 1 through 20." They were like 7 or whatever, and I was like, "All right, 7th is getting extra $100 from this guy tonight." So it's definitely not good to see that people are investing in it and giving us that opportunity, and it makes it worth it for the guy that he may not finish 3rd and finish 7th and get an extra $100. And one thing that's kind of cool is we do that Toyo Masters dice roll. He's one of our sponsors. That he gives us an extra $100 on every race night, and we'll throw that dice out there on the front stretch, and it bobbles around, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's it gonna be?" And Chris Morris this last weekend, it landed on number 1, so he got an extra $100 and won the race. So
yeah, it's awesome.
That's a cool deal. I think that Cotton Bowl is going to be the place to be this weekend. Lots of racing choices, but I think seeing the STIMS guys show up at Cotton Bowl, because that track is just hammered down. I mean, especially with the big mods. I mean, it's got the chance to be one hell of a good show, and I think that the combination between STIMS and Race On and Cotton Bowl is just going to be where it's at for sure.
Oh yeah, and I guess while we're on here, I'll say this: if there's another driver from a different track, we'll give you $50 to come and race with us that first night. Come race with STIMS and put your money where your mouth is, and let's go racing.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Talking about, man. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Again, Jacob, obviously STIMS Racing on Facebook, that's the best place for everything for you guys, information or message that page for any detailed questions or anything like that.
Oh yeah. Either that or someone's got my number somewhere. Just ask them, and you can call me up.
That's it. That's exactly right. All right, my man. Well, you guys are firing out of the box. Very impressed with what you guys are doing. Keep rolling, and like Bobby was talking about, and like we were saying, man, I think this Cotton Bowl is going to be huge when you guys get out on that big old wide racetrack.
I sure hope so. I'm hoping that we get to go 3-4 wide again, and don't tear anything up too bad. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir. Gonna be a good one. All right, man. Good luck. Keep doing it. Let us know how to help you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
You got it, man. Take care. There he goes. Man, they're doing it right. They're doing it right. And I think a lot of it was, when we had talked to him in the past, Bobby, I think that there were a lot of hungry people that wanted modifieds. And what they've done right here is they've afforded people the opportunity to do it. And hey, they're showing up. I mean, the people are making us look bad, because our thing is everyone has great ideas, implement one, and nobody will come. Well, these guys are making you and I look like idiots.
I think it's the IMCA sanction that's helping.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, because these guys can race local. I mean, granted, I guess you could race at a local track before, but it was kind of pointless to do race local, and you didn't get a chance to have a full field, right, to get maximum points out of running local. So now that you're sanctioned like a regular race night, you get full car count. That helps out your national point standings, your state point standings, and all that good stuff. So I think that the IMCA sanctioning is a blessing in disguise to make that series really pop. So
yeah, because I mean, what that does is what you get into a lot of times is with rules. And I mean, the rules are pretty cut and dry. They've been published for fucking ever, So, and most of these cars, most of these big cars that are sitting around are built to that rule book. So, that's a great point. Speaking of that race at Cotton Bowl, speaking of that STIMS race, how about a word from our great friends, Marianne and H.E. Nauman and the staff at Cotton Bowl Speedway? Tell you, that place does not lack sponsorship, does it? Jeez Louise, you see all those floating across right there. Gonna be a good show. Gonna be a really good show, and those modifieds are really gonna add to it.
Yeah, I think a modified show is going to be underratedly good, I think. But I think it's hard for them to be underrated now. They got 3 races under their belt with some damn good racing. So it's not like it's going to sneak under the radar. And I think it's on people's radar. So now you got the stress of living up to not so much the hype. I don't know if that's the right word just yet.
Yeah.
Because they've only got 3 races under their belt, but living up to the building reputation, if you will, of the STIM series. So.
Yeah. I think you guys probably saw right there. We posted the Hitman. The Hitman ended up at a family function where he's tied up here at the moment. He apologized for not being able to break out of that. We will have him on our next live cast. We will definitely have him back on. He is already, he's still apologizing. I'm like, dude, that's okay. I mean, don't worry about it. Like we said, that's why we go live. He's probably like, I ain't talking to them dudes because they're gonna play that video again. They're gonna play that damn video. That's probably why he wound up at the family function.
Maybe. And hell, I'm the one that did the voiceover for the race on Top 5 for it too. Pole dancing.
Yeah, it's like, what video? This one.
Fortunately, the only driver to come around to that whole ordeal was Graham, who will get that spot back, and all 4 tires are still inflated. He's probably saying a few choice words underneath the helmet right now. Oh, my goodness. Shawn Graham just hit choice words underneath.
I tell you, it's I don't like to laugh at the misfortune. Hell, it wasn't misfortune. He drove off. I mean, he drove off, but it is one of those things. You get in the infield like that, and you can kind of lose track of what's going on. Your bearings kind of get away from you because it's dark in the infield. So that's one of the things we'll ask him when we have him on as to what exactly happened. Well, like Zach said, he had some choice words that he probably had to say. So you know how that goes. Choice words. Choice words usually mean that tends to kind of throw off the capacity, the mental capacity sometimes.
But see, this is where you have fun with it, right? Like with that big dent on the front, you take out one of those little Wile E. Coyote silhouettes and put it right there. You also make a little pole, say pole, insert pole here, like right where the big knot is on the nose. Like I think that'd be fun. Be fun to have a little fun with it, right? Yep. If you're gonna go out spectacularly.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And the other part of that, not the other part of that, something else. We were talking about the 99 Nationals. I mean, KR and those guys hitting a major home run that right there. You had 2 really good nights of racing. Shad and Turner, the winner on Friday night, and the B-Mods. It's like there's another name for them, the B-Mods. Ryan Gilmore on Saturday night, the winner there. So very, very lots of cars. And I was talking to Billy Mazzell. So Billy Mazzell drove a bus all the way from Petty to Corpus Christi, and a bus with no tags or license plates.
Oops.
Yeah, that's always when I text you. I said this dude's a little crazy. Yeah, that at the urging of Owen Pittman. How about that? Boom, there you go. Yeah. So Owen's got himself a bus there now at the race ranch. So that's going to be something that's going to be popping up here at different times. Taking a look right here. I like this comment. Race On needs split screen to keep up with all these races. We're only what's the word?
Simulcast.
Yeah, we're only simulcasting on there, so yeah, I mean that would be a good idea. You know what would be really cool is if they could do kind of like what the NFL does, where you hit that main page on the NFL and it's like boom, 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 boom. They're all there. You click and you kind of reverse back and go, do just back and forth. We're just adding to their stuff right here with our great ideas. We only have, well, actually, it's let's see, Kyle and Cherie Cummings have this great idea, not us. But that's how you fix it. Just one screen, like not Red Zone. What is that? NFL Total Package or whatever it's called. That's how you do it. That would be pretty cool. That would be really cool.
I don't think any of the streamers do it that way, though, right? None of the regular streamers do it either.
Nope. Yeah, you can go on and you've got to do the same thing. I mean, you got to go in and you got to back out and then you can hit the event. I mean, the good thing is, I mean, and I'll say with all of them is that, I mean, at least you back out and boom, it takes you right there. It's not a matter of you got to back out. So sometimes you got to have some buffering time, but at least you don't have to put your credentials back in and do all that other happy horse shit that just takes up a lot of time. But yeah, that would be really cool. I love that idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah, well, even having dual cameras at racetracks kind of tough, because they have to have a producer and all kind of stuff to do that too. So,
yeah.
They don't have unlimited resources, but they're doing good with the resources they do have. Those big shows have great coverage, so hopefully that'll kind of trickle down to some of the weekly racing shows.
Yeah, they are doing a good job. Everybody's doing a really good job, and what it comes down to a lot of times is exactly what you're saying right there is personnel. Because especially when you're doing something like that, I mean, you've got to have somebody that's kind of pushing all the buttons and kind of making sure everything works. But and like the switching and so forth, when you've got the multicam, I mean, you got to have somebody that's doing all of that and following along. And then you've got the motor mouth that's kind of saying whatever, and that kind of factors in to some of that as well. But that really would be a cool landing space right there for one of these streamers. To I think we're dropping the gauntlet right here tonight for one of these streamers to have that front page where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Click on the one you want and click off it and click on number 4 or click on number 7. That would be cool.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I'd be good with that. Otherwise, we had the Baby Blue Harcrow Memorial. Great. I mean, obviously that we've talked to Marcus Harker on here before. They jam up Heart of Texas Speedway. That's always such a great event. $1,515 to win. I love what they do right there. It's a little time consuming when Joe jumps up on the flag stand and they do the driver's auction where the fans, it's like, okay, starting 5th is Bobby Chaffee. And it's like people are just throwing money at it and you're bidding and you're bidding and you're bidding. And I think I saw Joe post when it was all said and done, Jeffrey Abbey that won the race. It's $1,515 to win, $1,515 to win. I think he wound up with the auction money. I think he wound up with like $4,000.
Damn.
Dude, that's it is. It takes a while. I mean, it takes a little bit of time because it's 24 cars and you're running, B and C mains and all that to get that feel filled out. But $4,000 on a 15-15 purse, man. That's people dropping some dough right there for that.
That is definitely a good little bonus for sure.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. You guys, we were talking there with Jacob on STIMS about their online store. Of course, we have ours as well with the Revved Up Sports Show. You can get your Revved Up gear. I actually gave away some stuff this week. You'd have been proud, Bobby. I gave some shit away this weekend.
Oh. Yeah. Normally, I'm the one giving away all the shit.
Yeah, I gave some stuff away, and let me tell you who's a bad son of a gun. 6-inch Daniel Preston. I was trying to give him some stuff. He paid me.
Oh wow!
I was like, okay. He gave me a tip. Like, damn, look at that. Unheard of. I like that. But we will gladly give you the stuff, but you're free to order it as well. And you can order that from the On Demand Shirts online store. Here's a word from On Demand Shirts.
Hey racers, Phil Whipple here again with the Revved Up Sports Show. For nearly 3 years now, you've heard me talking about our valued partners over at Generation Race Cars. In 2023, GRC built cars visited Victory Lane on 46 occasions, driven by 9 different drivers. This year, GRC drivers are picking up right where they left off, as young Christian Gaston has already won at Cannondale Speedway. Generation Race Cars, located in Springtown, Texas, continues to offer new chassis body combos all the way to turnkey sport mods and limited modifieds. All cars are built to the same high standards we have at GRC. Justin Long is committed to giving each and every customer the time they deserve, along with a commitment to bring quality into every build. When you're ready to order a new car for 2024, give the guys over at Generation Race Cars a call at 817-528-2947. That's 817-528-2947. Take your program to victory lane with Team GRC.
Great folks, there you go. All of the great folks that make it happen for us right there. Of course, like we said, On Demand Shirts. Be sure and check out that online store, and you can get the Revved Up merchandise. Also, we do want to mention, dang it, I forgot what I was going to mention. Well, shit. Okay. I forgot, Bobby. I don't know. This Eclipse has me all thrown off. I totally forgot the next topic that I had for you. So I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, well. But I do want to tell you guys that I'm very excited for the weekend that's coming up with you guys at Texana. I think it's going to be a very exciting event there with the late models coming in, and I'm really hoping that we see an abundance of late models with that, because I'm hoping that I know 37 does a really good job there of attracting late models. That's a good late model track, and I'm hoping that this is going to be something. Here's what I'm excited about. I mean, I'm excited about a lot of things about this weekend, but what I'm really curious to see is I want to see how the Friday night works. I've kind of been back and forth on that just a little bit, but the more I think about it, I think the Friday's gonna work, and I think the Friday's gonna work when we start getting into. I mean, here's a good example, because you can get some guys that can go run Edna and then go to Cotton Bowl, and then when you're going to have Edna and then 37, or Edna and Corpus. And I don't know if you guys heard Owen talking on the pre-race show that we did from the bar on Saturday, but this Edna to Corpus thing. You want to talk about cannonball run style stuff? Holy moly! When that comes to pass, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh my God! We'll have to get that reposted. That's going to be an event where it's like, okay, you run at Edna for a little bit, and then you load your shit up and you go to Corpus and you run some more. So that could be something pretty damn interesting, I think.
Well, it can be. I mean, there's a lot of synergy between the two tracks. Now that the rules are more in line, I think that it opens the door for a few fireballs to come down on non-competing race nights on a Friday night.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely get some of the pure stocks from 105 to come over. So I think that there's a good possibility of a lot of crossover between the two tracks, and even 105 to Cotton Bowl. So we'll see. Interesting night coming up on Friday. The first one's going to be Friday. Then they run back to back on the 12th and the 19th. So we'll see how everything shakes out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good night. All right, let's dive back in, bring it in, and I think we may just have him on. Let me see if I can get him on here. Doesn't have the video fired up yet. It looks like Mason Warren. He's sitting in the backstage right there, so we'll try to get him in. I think we have him. Let's go diving in. Mason, we got you, my man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. There he is, Mason Warren, joining us here on the Revved Up Hotline. So, Mason, my man, this weekend for you, another one in Waco, and then, hell, go to Big O, and go to Big O and take care of that one too, my friend. That's pretty good weekend at the office for you, it looked like.
We were not expecting for any of them, I believe. We just went there hoping to have a good race, and it turned out like that.
It's awesome.
So, dude, what all did you have to change between the two tracks? Did you have to change a lot between running up at Big O versus your normal stuff that you race at Heart of Texas?
They're pretty much the same size, so we didn't change gear or nothing. It was pretty much the same setup too, because they were both pretty slick, but we didn't change nothing.
Yeah. So Mason, for you, that's win number 2 at Waco. Let's just kind of focus in on Waco. That's the home track for you. I got to tell you, man, it really seems like you guys have hit on something right there. And talk about that part, because you were just absolutely you're brilliant there at Heart of Texas.
I think it's mostly because I have probably more laps than almost all the juniors there with the enduro and all the practice sessions with all the junior limited drivers. So I think all those laps count to me understanding how to drive that track.
Mm-hmm.
So what all have you learned, dude? I mean, did you start from absolute scratch when you started with the junior limiteds there at Hot? I mean, did you race any kind of go-karts? I mean, or was it one of those you finally decided that you wanted to start racing and you thought that junior limited class was going to be the best class for you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've had no go-kart experience at all. It was 4 years ago. My dad just threw me in the junior limited, and I tried to learn my best while I followed Trevor. Or trying to keep up, I guess would be the term.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mason, let's talk about the class there at Waco. It really seems like, I mean, with you leading the charge right there, you and a couple of others. Man, you guys get out there, and that's you guys is some real fine young wheel people right there. I mean, it's dudes and ladies, but man, you guys put on a really good show, and y'all, you have the poise that a lot of adults don't have. There's a lot of times where I know when I'm there, I'm like, hey, kids, watch, or adults, watch the kids, because you guys are just so strong. Really good class there.
We have like at least 4 different leaders every night in the feature. It's just so competent. I can't speak.
Yeah, competitive
with all the junior limited drivers.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what's on tap for you now, man? More wins at Heart of Texas. You want to travel a little bit more, maybe run that big junior limited national show that they should be running at Rocket towards the end of the year. What's the next couple of races about to, let's say before summer ends for school for you? Talk about the next couple of weeks for you.
We plan on going to Hunt, Rocket, Kennedale, Big O, and Waco. We're planning on traveling, not doing any points. hopefully pick up some wins at other tracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So do you look at, because there have been a couple of folks, a couple of kiddos that have come out of the junior limiteds, and I mean they're up there in the sport mods, and they're in the front, and they don't make mistakes, man. That really seems to me, just from an outside observer, seems to be on the path that you're on. Do you kind of watch some of those younger guys like Little Nasty and them, and kind of watch what they're doing as they've moved up?
I would kind of watch how they enter the corners, because it looks like they have a lot more experience than I do trying to drive the top. So I just watch how they enter the top and how they drive the track on the bottom. I just watch how they do it and try and learn my way from them.
All right, so Mason, talk about this support system that you have. Talk about the team around you, and then some of the other support system you have with your fan club over there.
I don't really know how to describe it.
Well, I can tell you one thing. As we call her, your dirt track queen. Yeah, your dirt track queen right there is one of your biggest supporters.
There's quite a lot of them that help me out big time. Like my mom, she's paid for my body and wrap, or this past body and wrap. And then my poppy, he's bought a lot of stuff or helped with my car a lot. Same with James Hammock. Car's been to the shop a little bit too much, trying to keep that number down. And then Jeffrey Abbey, that was probably the best thing we've spent money on, was taking it to him and getting a setup on it. And then my dad, Dylan, my hardhead self, helping me try and learn. And Richard Pickens, always helping me out with our transmissions.
Absolutely.
So Mason, where's your home base, dude? Are you based out of Waco, or where's your hometown at?
My hometown. Wait, say it again. You cut out.
Your hometown. What's your hometown base?
My hometown's Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot how to spell it. It's like DONIE, something like that.
Yeah. No doubt about it. And school stuff for you. Any other stuff you do, or are you just a solid race car driver? Any other stuff that you do, or are you just full bore racing? Any other sports, any other interest, any of that mess?
I do some powerlifting, and I'm going to try and get back in football, but I prefer powerlifting. But racing takes priority to me.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you powerlifting is definitely going to help when it comes to wrestling those race cars around. Mason, congratulations on your great start here. Congratulations on back-to-back wins over the weekend. And you guys keep on, buddy. Like you were saying there, you've got a great support system, and I look forward to what you do the rest of the year, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, man. Take care.
I will. You too.
Bet. You got it. There he goes, Mason Warren. Back-to-back race wins this weekend, not only there at the the world-famous Heart of Texas Speedway, but at Big O. So really good stuff happening right there for him. So, and again, that's I love those. I really do like the Junior Limited, because it does really give them the chance to what they're going to be racing. I mean, I think that's the best way for that to work.
I think it works. I mean, you're a junior limited guy. I'm an eco mod guy. Same concept, just different age brackets, right? Although they're quite a younger group that races the E mods down there in Corpus and Texana. But there's sprinkled in a couple of old school veterans that are in there, and some guys that for budgetary reasons like running an economy modified versus a full blown limited modified. So I think that there's an ecosystem enough for both to be successful. Obviously, Hot has the junior limiteds, the Star Tomorrow's program with Joe and some great sponsors on that help set that up. I think it's an orientation that any racer could benefit from, starting from scratch, not just the kiddos that they do. So I know it seems like they've kind of expanded that out just a tick. If you're a new racer, to kind of attend that orientation that they do with the flags and the different stuff for the junior limited. So I just think that it's I think that every track has their own ecosystem in terms of trying to make it fit within the ecosystem. So kudos out, because we got to get the next generation in there somehow. We got to get them off their phone, off their ass, and on the racetrack. Whether that's go-karts, junior limiteds, whatever the case may be, that's what's got to happen.
Yeah, and I think it's like I've said so often about both of the classes, the ones that you're talking about, is I think it makes a heck of a lot more sense to me for those kiddos, the youngsters that are looking to continue their career to start out. I think it's really cool that they have something like this, where you take a limited modified, a sport mod, whatever you want to call it, and you take it, you dial it down to what they're going to be, because it is. I mean, a lot of it is, so much of it is car control and so forth, and that's what they're teaching there when they're doing all those classes and all that. And I think it's I just love that idea, and I don't know. I wish there was something. I know with asphalt, asphalt's kind of totally a different animal, where you get to some of the entry level. To me, like a mini stock, like we talk about eco, whatever. It makes a hell of a lot more sense to me on asphalt, because with dirt, I mean, you're going to run that, and then that's it. You're not going to run anything else like it if you're going to continue your dirt track career.
No, I mean, I think you're right. And the characteristics of front-wheel drive, not that you can translate any of that into your next class up, especially on dirt, but at least now, the gap between an eco stock and the next class up in Houston is starting to kind of figure itself out with the factory stocks and or a bootlegger. You don't just get a chance to go directly from an eco stock into a competitive truck and expect to be competitive in it. So I think that I think you'll see a lot of the we've seen some successful transitions from the 4-cylinders to a factory stock there at Cotton Bowl and a couple other tracks. But like I said, each track has its own ecosystem. You just got to figure out where it fits the best.
Yeah, and like what he's doing there, and Waco has done a good job. Like I was talking about some of the guys there, to where it's they've transitioned well, and you watch them move into the big class, and they do an extremely good job, or where you can tell that they've been taught well. Wesley, not to worry, man. I know that it's been kind of messy. I mean, it looks I'm in Round Rock, and it looks awful scary out there right now. We had thunder, lightning, we had all kinds of stuff happening over here, so that is not a problem at all right there. Not to worry. We got him on, and that's the main thing right there when it comes to that. Very, very glad to have that youngster on.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to have their first breakthrough with this. That may be his first time with this, but it's probably not going to be his last.
Yeah. I think he was on before. I think he was on one other time before, but yeah, ain't no problem with that. This is kind of an intimidating task. I was telling someone earlier, to where it's like, okay, when we have an adult that's coming on, it's like, okay, take a shot, drink 3 beers, something like that. Come on, and you're going to be totally fine. It's hard to tell a youngster that. I mean, I told him that, but I probably shouldn't have.
I mean, hit the root beer, whatever it takes to calm you down a little bit.
Yeah, something like that. Bobby, I do want to ask you, of course, we can't get out of here without talking about NASCAR. Of course, they raced yesterday at Martinsville. Lackluster race, totally, in my opinion. The short track package is not good. Kind of your thoughts on that? William Byron ruins again. I was hoping somebody was going to be able to ruin the Hendrick parade right there that was going on.
I mean, the only good thing I can say about that race at Martinsville is that Denny Hamlin did not win. I think that's a plus. Kind of like Richmond was a couple of weeks ago, just not a very good, it just hadn't been a very good product. The race at Bristol was good with the same short track package they're running, but I mean, right now, the Xfinity short track races are kicking the Cup Series ass.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and the whole thing is, I mean, I've heard it described when talking about Bristol, that, I mean, hell, they kind of stumbled into that. I mean, they didn't plan to do that. I mean, it was something that just kind of happened. And, man, if they can somehow get that magic going once again, I think that would be really cool. And I think that's something that doesn't bode well for the Cup Series is now. I mean, God, I hate to say it. I mean, they're heading to TMS, and that one has been, not the best. So that's kind of concerned that it's not going to be a good weekend for the Cup Series when you're going from what you just had to that. But I don't know, man. I just it continues to surprise me that you just can't figure it. Well, the whole thing is, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. This isn't a short track car. That's the whole problem. That is the underlying problem.
It's a road course car. It's a sports car, not a road course car.
Yeah. Wesley's going to give him some cough syrup the next time. That's all right. He did totally fine. He did absolutely totally fine. Like we said, this is we've had some elders that get on here and kind of struggle from time to time doing this stuff. So it's not a big deal at all.
The dog woke up. I had to change my camera view. He'd been asleep the whole show. Now I decided he wanted to come over the shoulder and say hello.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just think that what was really weird is they kept talking about Richmond losing a race.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is it going to go? I mean, we know that the All-Star race is going to go to Bowman Gray in 2025.
Yep.
We'll have a fairly good idea that's where it's going to go. The Clash is going to go to Mexico. And where are you going to go? You're going to take one of the races from Richmond and move it to Montreal? I mean,
yeah,
Montreal will get a race. It's just, where's it going to come from?
Yeah, and this is where, I mean, you look at these things. I mean, these issues these are more. The shitty part is, it's like, that track is going to lose a race, but it's like, man, the track's not the problem. I don't think, grip and all that. Richmond doesn't have any grip. And that was the one thing where I was kind of excited going into the weekend, where I thought, okay, we might have something that's going to happen pretty good here because the place has no grip. But dude, that was, I mean, it just wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't good at all. I mean, I'd rather watch a Cars Tour race. I'd rather watch a Hornet race on dirt. I mean, it just was not good at all. I mean, it lacked everything. It lacked everything. And then a 1-2-3 Hendrick sweep. It's like, I mean, that's a great story. Again, that is a great story. But
it's a great story, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I slept. It was a fast race. I mean, I slept through the first half and didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of dozed. I remember watching it and kind of dozed off, and I was like, "Oh, damn!" I woke up and it was like 2 laps from. I had to change my fantasy lineup to finish dead last again. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know. And like I said, I mean, it's one thing. I don't know what the magic pill is going to be with the car. I mean, other than racing at Atlanta or the super speedways or a one-off, maybe at Bristol. I just kind of losing hope. I mean, the whole thing is, I mean, it could be worse. Breaking news, Max Verstappen won again on Formula One, so he's back in there. It's not quite that bad, but there's just, and I say not quite, I mean, because that's really bad as that.
It's really bad over there.
There's no, I mean, the best racing you're going to find is not, and IndyCar can get their shit together. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't know what to think.
Numbers don't lie. It's a hell of a rating, though, still for Richmond. I mean, for being on FS1, I thought it was a pretty decent rating.
NASCAR. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really what it is right now with the stuff we have going on. Great conversation that we've had tonight. One quick final word. Now I've got the right commercial queued up. That's what I've been working on over here. That's why you see me pecking away with my 2 fingers on the keyboard. One final word from our friends at Cotton Bowl Speedway.
Some of the best drivers in Texas take to the 3/8 mile surface under the lights in Page, Texas. This week's show features sport compacts, factory stocks, street stocks, IMCA stock cars, IMCA Southern Sport Modifieds, and the first visit of the year by the newly formed South Texas IMCA Modified Series. Gates open at 5 p.m. Head out to the pits Meet the drivers and get pictures of the cars. Racing starts at 7. Adult admission $20. Kids 7 to 12 is just $10. Children 7 and under, absolutely free. If you need more information, go to the website, racecbs.com or Facebook, Cotton Bowl Speedway. Who makes it to the Advanced Auto Parts Victory Lane? Be there live for all the action. Green light, green flag. Let's go racing.
Make a weekend out of it. Go to Texana on Friday night and watch the late models, and then go check out that. That's all you need on your racing calendar right there, Friday and Saturday. Or go to Waco, or go up north. I mean, go to Kennedale. Go somewhere. I think weather's holding out. I'm leaving. I'm going to South Carolina Friday morning. So I think things are supposed to be nice around here, I guess. I don't really care what happens here when I leave. No, I'm just kidding. I want the races to work out.
Tomorrow's kind of shitty. Wednesday's kind of shitty. And then Thursday and Friday, this should be fine. So
yeah, let's here we go. Is the weather going to be great for racing this weekend here in Texas? This is all I need right here. As far as I see it, yes.
Oh.
Y'all are good. Everybody's good. The Magic 8 Ball presented by On Demand Shirts. Put an On Demand shirt sticker on there. That can be. You can sponsor that too. Somebody, if you want to sponsor the 8 Ball, you can sponsor that too. Everything's for sale. Everything's for sale. We'll sell you this whole fucking show if you wanted it. You could do this, what we're doing. Ain't that right?
I mean, it's you might see monkeys doing it, but we can do it. We can teach the monkeys how to do it.
Rest of the week for you, my man. What do you got on tap, dude? I know you've got some Friday night action going on, but
got the Texana stuff on Friday. Got a birthday party Saturday afternoon. Probably going to head up to Cotton Bowl and then determining whether or not I'm going to TMS on Sunday morning, but I doubt it. That's a lot of stuff on the platter to work on for one weekend. So what are you going to do? Especially like tomorrow. What you got planned for tomorrow?
Go watch it rain.
Watch it rain on your birthday?
Watch it rain. I mean, that's what I do. You know, it's same shit I always do, dude. It's I've got a radio show in the morning. I've got to cut I think about 10 sound bites that I need to do. At that point I'll probably crack a cold one. And then what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. No sports. I don't know what's gonna go on. Yeah, tomorrow is the big day. The big day tomorrow. Yeah, and of course it's like the birthday present I get is an eclipse and a hailstorm. Hey, get this. You're going to be surprised the next time that you head to the house. So they had this community cleanup shit thing where they pick up all the junk and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My car is sitting in the garage right now, my friend.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's like, bring on the hail. Come on, hail all you want, because she's sitting in the garage.
But weren't you out and about when you got hail last time? Or was it sitting in the driveway?
It was sitting in the driveway, man. It was sitting in the driveway last time because I couldn't get it in. Oof, that's what she said. But the whole thing is with this one is
a little more compact ride for you.
A little more narrow and a little bit shorter. That's what she said. And so it didn't quite take. There's still a lot of shit in there, but the good thing is it's sitting in there and I can maneuver all the way around in there and hopefully win. And if it hails, I will not have
a forecast for tomorrow. Yeah, we're like at a level 3 out of 5. So
great. Yeah, so
that's why I have to go to the office tomorrow. And that's why I have gap on my truck. So
oh Lord, that is not good. That is not good. Revved Up website one final time right there. That'll take you to the live show, take you all to all the replays and so forth. And of course, the on-demand shirt merchandise thing is right there. Somebody told me at Waco, boy, you guys are really trying to sell merchandise these days. I'm like, well, hell yeah. What do you do when you have a merchandise store? You try to sell shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anybody that has a convenience store that doesn't invite people in. You know,
yeah. If you got it to sell, might as well try to sell some of it.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you don't run a lemonade stand and not put a sign out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, yeah, of course we're trying to sell merchandise. We're trying to get on-demand shirts out in front of people, and they definitely are. It's been a good time. Great conversation there with Jacob Hortsch. great things that they're doing with STIMS. And, of course, our man Mason Warren checking in. A little nervous. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. We'll get him fixed up. It won't be. Remember when we first started talking to Bailey Curry?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones where it was like Bailey, it's like, Bailey, how you doing? Fine. Talk about your race this weekend. Car ran good. Okay. Talk about your crew. My dad.
The one thing though, gotta be careful. It sounded like his fan club was in the background.
She might have been.
Sounded like she wasn't excited when we phrased it a specific way so he could talk about her, and then he froze up, and then somebody in the background was yelling at him. So
I won't. I won't name any names, but it's like I'm getting the messenger. It's like his ass is in big trouble. It's like a man of few words. A man of few words. Well, that's good for the. If they get married, I guess that's good. And it's not her that's telling me that, but somebody close. So anyway, it's all good. It's all good. All right, you guys, be safe. I think weather's going to get crazy. So take care of yourselves out there. Get to a local short track this weekend. And if you can't get to a local short track, find a streamer that is going to be doing something really cool, and you can check all that stuff out. Bobby, my man, I hope the rest of the week goes well for you, brother.
Well, have fun on your birthday tomorrow, and then have fun in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Myrtle Beach. Might have to, I'm sure I'm going to have to go where and see what's left. But
ain't much left. It's an apartment car, business complex now.
Yeah, no, I'll just go over there. It was one of those things. I was driving home yesterday morning, and it's like I see the Agnes exit, and I'm like, I get over in the right lane, and I'm like, no, I just can't do it. I just don't want to go see that. No, not going to torture myself with that. So anyway, but hey, by the way, thank you all, Corpus. That place was packed. There's a lot of people there, and that's the number one thing. All right, you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll do it again next week. For Bobby, I'm Rodney. This is #Real Race Talk from Texas. This is your Monday original. It is the Revved Up Sports Show. You guys be good. We'll see you soon.